My knowledge of Black history has been things that have been passed down or what I was taught in school, which wasn't a lot. I am on a mission to learn our stories and our history. The Black history that wasn't taught in class. The topics that our history books probably won't mention. On May 31st of this year, it had been 99 years since the attack on Black Wall Street. And what I realized is that I didn't know a lot of information about Black Wall Street. I certainly wasn't taught about it in school. So I decided to do my research. And what I found was amazing and heartbreaking at the same time. Founded in 1906, Black Wall Street was the exact definition of Black excellence. Located in Oklahoma's Greenwood district, it was described as modern, majestic, and unapologetically Black. The people in the town could be worth up to $100,000 each, their possessions equaling $25,000 to $50,000 alone. While there were only 2 airports in Oklahoma, 6 families had private planes. Now, if that's not a flex, I don't know what is. They had schools that specifically taught Latin. There were grocery stores, real estate offices, a lawyer's office, a doctor's office. There were movie theaters, and so much more. Schools, a newspaper. The dollar would exchange hands 19 times before leaving the town. The town was established by O.W. Gurley, a wealthy African-American entrepreneur. He came from Arkansas and bought 40 acres of land that he made sure was only sold to other African Americans. He also loaned out money to African Americans in the community who wanted to start a business. Other entrepreneurs followed suit. J.B. Stratford established a luxury hotel. Now, this hotel had 55 rooms, and he also believed that the way for the Black community to grow was to pool their resources. His hotel was the largest Black-owned hotel in the country. A.J. Smitherman created the Tulsa Star. This amazing newspaper informed the Greenwood community about their rights, current events, court cases that could have a positive or negative effect on the community. So what happened? On May 31st, 1921, the Tulsa Tribune reported that Dick Rowland, a Black man, attempted to rape Sarah Page, a white woman, in an elevator. A white mob from Tulsa descended upon the courthouse. They demanded that the sheriff hand over Dick Rowland so that they could lynch him. The sheriff refused. 75 armed Greenwood citizens arrived to protect Dick Rowland. A fight broke out. When the citizens of Greenwood realized that they were outnumbered, they fled back to Greenwood. And what happened next could only be described as white terrorism. The white mob descended upon the town. They set fire to the town, looted, and killed Black people on the spot. The Tulsa police armed the white citizens. Planes were doing recon missions, and kerosene was poured into the fire to make the fire burn faster. Over 300 Black people died. 800 were injured. Over 10,000 became homeless. And not one white person was arrested. The Tulsa police allowed the white mob to arrest the citizens of Greenwood and put them into internment camps. This became known as the Tulsa Race Riot. Politicians and media formed this as an uprising by lawless Blacks. They touted around stereotypes to justify their actions. They said that the town needed order, and the KKK was the only way to establish this. 2 days after the massacre, a reconstruction committee was established to redesign Greenwood for industrial purposes. Victims of this massacre were offered their homes back at below market rates. The people of Tulsa believed that the victims of the Greenwood massacre were desperate and that they would do anything to get their homes back. They didn't see them for what they truly were. The ones who had their homes, their lives, their families, and their business taken from them again. White people were afraid. They wanted to keep Tulsa great. And we see that now with the amount of police brutality, the way the protests were framed at the media, and our current administration. The system is and always has been rigged against us. There are only 4 Black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies: Merck, Lowe's, Tapestry, and TIA Insurance. And there have only been 17 Black CEOs of Fortune 500 companies since 1999. We are tired of the mistreatment, tired of the white superiority. A lot of people have been wondering what they can do. Petitions are being signed and people are educating themselves, and that's amazing. One thing that needs to be done is to call out these companies that say that they stand for Black lives and for their Black employees, but they have nobody on the executive level or C-suite level that are Black. Another thing to do is to support Black-owned businesses. There are so many amazing Black-owned businesses for anything that you can think of. And I'll leave a few resources below. The way to give back to the Black community is to invest in the Black community. Another thing that you can do is educate yourself. Educate yourself on Black history. There are resources out there. There are sources. My hope is that this video series that I'm starting will help educate others about our Black history. The good and the bad. The history that most history books aren't going to talk about. But our history is still important.